Hopefully it'll connect, right? Oh, there we go. Bingo. Good afternoon, friends. How's everybody doing today? Welcome. As always, we're going to wait a minute or two for everybody to join us. Thank you. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day today. Happy Wednesday.
You said happy Wednesday.
Happy, joy. Happy, joy. What are you? You were something else, aren't you? Welcome. If you're just tuning in, thank you very much. It's good to have you guys with us again today. Good afternoon.
Is that like square that pops up? Is that the people that are enjoying?
I think so. I don't have glasses, and that's way too far away to see. So anyway, we can go ahead and get started. It is 2 o'clock. Thank you for joining us today. Hopefully everybody is tuning in live.
Oh my gosh.
My name is... Okay, would you come down? Oh my goodness. Sorry, they just saw that their grandmother was watching. So they're both super excited. All right, so my name is what? What's my name?
Medium Martin.
Good job. And these are my two wonderful helpers, Reagan and Shaylee. And I'm just going to remind you, because I will do this again today and again tomorrow, is that we are trying to come up with their science names. They've worked really hard, helped me a lot, practice some, helped me do some pre-setting up, and I really appreciate it. They've done great, so they have earned their science names. Don't forget to send in your suggestions. Go ahead and comment, and we read them later, and Friday morning, they will choose their science names, and we will introduce them Friday afternoon at 2 p.m. So go ahead, don't forget, it has to start with the letter R and S.
For Shaylee and Reagan.
That's right, for Shaylee and Reagan. And we do have several really, really good names. I haven't heard for sure their favorites yet, and don't tell me, I don't want to know yet till Friday.
My best name was Radioactive.
I do like that one. We're gonna have to see what happens, which one you like. So anyway, thank you guys again. Remember to tune in every day, Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. So keep watching. We hope you join us for all these fun experiments, the Facebook Live experiment of the day. Today, we are going to make a solar oven. So I'm going to go through materials that you will need, other options if you do not have everything that we have. And then I will give you some time. We're also going to do today's a little bit different. We have actually pre-made our oven because it can take some time. I will explain how we did it, give you hopefully some tricks that will help you to do it a little bit easier. But again, you can play with it. And then after we are done, you guys can try to make it, see if it will work outside for you all. Today, actually, I think I've told you before, but we live in central North Carolina. It's kind of cloudy and it's kind of cool today. So I don't know how well it will work after we're done. We're going to go try it. But it's supposed to warm up come next week. So we're going to save it and do this next week no matter what.
And we didn't try it with another pizza box outside.
No, not yet. Oh, yeah, we can do that. We do have an extra pizza box. You're right. So, like she just said, the first thing you are going to need is a pizza box. And this is our finished product, but I will show you a little bit more in detail soon. If you don't have a pizza box, you can use like an Amazon box. I don't believe it matters how thick it is. In fact, I've seen some things where actually the deeper it is, the better it could work. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a pizza box.
Can it be a box?
That's what you said, like an Amazon box. Yes, you can.
Can it be like, what is this, a container?
Probably should be a box because you got to cut it. I don't think plastic would work. You would want it to be some sort of cardboard box. Then I have a couple different options. You can use some plastic like sheet protectors, or what we ended up doing is using nothing but some Glad cling wrap. So you can use either or. We have black construction paper that you will be needing. We have several pieces. I ended up just needing one, but you have a couple just in case. Duct tape. Now, you don't have to use duct tape. You do need tape, but it doesn't really matter what type. We ended up using just plain Scotch tape, but you could also use packing tape if you needed it. You are going to need some sort of box cutter. And I want to stress, too, if there's only some children listening, some kids, make sure you have adult supervision today.
Because earlier I had
Yeah, you weren't listening.
Then I did it, then it started bleeding.
That's right. You snipped it a little bit and you caught yourself, which we do not want that to happen, right? You're never supposed to play with a box cutter. Super dangerous. Next is scissors, and you can use this. It looks like somebody put my scissors up.
Bailey.
Oh, no, there they are. Sorry, there goes some scissors. If you don't have a box cutter, you can just use scissors. You're just going to want to make sure that they're super sharp. Wooden skewers. If you don't have a skewer, you can use a stick. You can use
A pencil.
maybe a pencil. It needs to be long, though, because you're going to want to, the size is going to matter for what you need. You may have to start long and then cut it. A dowel will work, something like that. I have some glue. Aluminum foil. This one is really important, the aluminum foil. Some sort of straight edge, either a ruler or, believe it or not, I don't have a ruler at the house, pretty terrible, but do have a very large paint stick, so we use that instead today. And maybe a pen or a marker or something, because we're going to be cutting something out and you want to make a straight edge. Finally, you are going to need the ingredients to make a s'more, which is graham crackers, some marshmallows, and some chocolate. And as you guys can see, my wonderful children already busted into these and made one yesterday. Couldn't keep them away. They were begging. They're home. What do you do, right, when we're stuck in the house all day long? Try our best, right? You do some of that, and we try to go outside and play, too, and do everything we can, right? So while you guys are getting some of these together, we're going to go ahead and do one of our fun activities that we like to do every day. And this one comes from a couple of our different lesson plans that we do when we are discussing and talking about forces of motion. And this one's one of my favorite ones. If you want to look up something to study, to learn about, we are talking about gravity today and inertia.
I talked about
You know what gravity is
school.
at school? Did you talk about an inertia? Probably not yet. You might have. Have you talked about an inertia yet? Oh, okay.
I think that's
Not yet. Okay, so don't forget to look that up. Gravity and inertia. And this one is really fun. I enjoy doing this one. Kids love it when we do it in the schools. All you need is a cup. Can be basically any size cup. I believe these are 9-ounce cups, but you can use whatever.
You can use a plastic.
Yeah, a plastic one would work. A glass one will work. I mean, a jar will work. Here, flip it upside down. And then I have a little piece of cardstock. So you could use cardstock. You could use, no, not
You
like
said
that. The other
flip
way.
it upside down.
Oh, sorry. That was the right, whatever. Like you're going to drink out of it. Put it on the table. You put your card on top. It could be an index card, but it needs to be thick enough that it won't fall into the cup. And then I've got some clothespins. You put the clothespin on top. Okay, lay it like that. Now, you don't have to use a clothespin. You could use any sort of a paper clip. That will work. I even use one of my favorite things. I also sometimes will use like a connector for a Hot Wheels piece. That'll work. Anything around the house that's small enough to fit in the cup.
Oh, Lego?
Yeah, so Lego would work. That's right. So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to use your finger, or you can pull it. And you're going to hit it. You're going to hit the card by itself, or pull the card very fast, and only the card, and try to see what happens. Hope you guys can see this at home. Ooh.
I don't look good.
Yeah, it's okay. You rotated it. Good job. Whenever you're ready. Fast, though. Oh, good job. You both did it. What happened? Did it go with the card?
Yes.
No. Did it come off with the card? No. So, remember, friends, gravity and inertia. right? You guys say it with me. Say gravity.
Gravity and inertia.
And inertia. Good job. Okay, now look that up. Google it, study it, try to find out why this happened. Why did the clothespin not come along with the card when we pulled the card stock out from underneath it? Well, you can tell me a guess. I won't tell you if you're right or wrong yet until after we're done. But if you have a guess, you can let me know.
Because you're pulling it so fast. The extra paper clip is heavier, so it can't go with.
That has part of it. Yes, that's part of it. Good job. So, what am I? What are we always talking about every single day? Scientist. Our typical science discussion every day. Would you please be careful so you don't get hurt? Our science discussion. What's a scientist?
Someone who wants to learn
Travel around the world.
And why things work in the world and how things work.
And they are usually very what? They ask a lot of questions. So when they ask a lot of questions, they form a
Hypothesis.
I thought.
Hey, hi. Sorry, one of our friends is laying down right now. Anyway, a hypothesis, which is your educated guess. And when you do your educated guess, you then have to test that guess by forming what? Yeah.
Exploring.
No. A what? Experiments.
That's right.
And while you're doing experiments, you have to what?
Observe.
Good. You said it right. Good job. Observe. And you observe by?
Your nose,
Ears, mouth, hands, and nose.
I think you said it. Eyes. And those are your 5?
Senses.
All right, your 5 senses. And you use those, and then you have to?
Observe.
Form a conclusion.
You form a conclusion, but right before you do that, you have to study. You have to study and analyze and pay attention to everything that's going on, and then you do form your conclusion. Okay. So, hope you guys are still with us. Hopefully you have all your materials. Don't forget that if you want to know what the materials are early, please send a request to our Facebook page, and they will, our company, High Touch High Tech, will give you instructions on how to receive our emails so that you can have early all the materials, the lesson plan, everything you need to do this along with us. So first of all, what we did is we used a pizza box. And in order to have this pizza box, what did we eat last night?
Pizza.
We had some pizza last night. We had to call it in, go drive by. They were only doing pickup orders, which is great. Glad everybody's following the rules. And then we brought this home.
I think we have 3 pizza boxes.
We might. We have like 2 and 1 that wouldn't work. Okay. So the first thing we did was, if you can see, we took a marker pen somewhere. Sorry.
Then we used the
Hold on, let's tell them this first. And we used our straight edge ruler or anything like that in about 1.5 to 2 inches from all the sides.
That's only like the size of this, but a little more smaller.
A little more small, yes. It needs to be smaller than the box. We did an outline, and then you use your box cutter, and again, make sure an adult does this and that there's adult supervision, and you're going to use the box cutter to cut out 3 out of the 4 sides. You do not, and I repeat, do not want to cut the side where the whole box opens. So it's going to look like a mouth, and then you have a flap on the top, okay? Kind of like Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
That's what I said. All right, so the first thing you do, remember, is trace it. Use your marker, cut it out, and you pop this up a little bit so it's kind of like a flap, okay? Then, do you remember what we did after that?
Yes. We put foil on.
Good. We put foil on the flap. So you turn the flap up, and you use aluminum foil, and you completely cover the flap. At the end, I'm going to explain why we're doing this, okay? Again, we are making a oven, a solar oven, and at the end, you will be able to cook s'mores in it, and especially if it's a hot, sunny day where you live. And I'll explain the science after we do make this, okay? Because you might be still making while I'm talking.
If it's super sunny, it will take less long.
That's right. We'll talk about that at the end. Okay, so we're going to cover the whole flap with aluminum foil. You want to tuck it under on the outside and go ahead and tape it down. We use quite a bit of tape. And again, we use Scotch tape. Basically all the way around the edge. You want to put this little tape on the inside of the cover, just in case, to be as safe as you can. So we kept most of the tape on the outside. Do you remember what we did next?
Yeah, we put foil.
Nope, that's not foil.
I mean,
The cling wrap.
The cling wrap.
On the open.
That's right. Then you have the opening, the kind of like the window, and we took cling wrap and we put it over the window, and we actually did both sides. So we put two pieces. If you don't want to use the cling wrap, you can use these paper covers, kind of like clear protective papers that you would use in a notebook. And you could put them like this, depending on the size of your window, or you could put them side by side like this. Usually the thicker the better. So we did a double amount, one on each side, taped it down, one on the underside, taped it down so that it was a pretty thick layer of cling wrap, and to make sure that it was airtight so that air couldn't get in there.
Like this kind of tape.
Yeah, you can use that type of tape. I know that tape was much harder, but we also didn't have a lot of room, so we used the other one. Okay, after that, what did we do?
We put foil. We put foil on the sides.
And the bottom. So the next thing you're gonna do is you are going to put foil all along the inside of your box, your pizza box or your Amazon, and then you want to tape it on the sides, the front, and underneath if you had to. You could either pre-cut these to make them fit better. We kind of just winged it and put it down, pushed it down. Then we cut it and tore it off, and then we taped it down. It did take two pieces because this is not a big, this is heavy duty foil, but it is duty foil. Okay, that was a good one. Heavy duty foil. But it's not super long, it's not the big one. So we had to use two pieces, and we taped it down, and then finally, what did we do after that?
We put another thing right here.
No, we already talked about that. We put a black piece of paper. So this is where
Oh,
you use the, yes, hon.
you don't want to put tape like right here or on the paper.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we used Elmer's glue, and we glued the black construction paper to the foil at the very bottom.
If you don't have glue, you could use like double-sided tape.
Yeah, you could use tape. You don't even really have to use tape. It just keeps it from moving. And when we were going to show everybody on here kind of what it looks like, you're having fun today, aren't you? And when we were showing all our friends what it looks like, and I was going to hold it up. And to be honest, you really don't have to use tape to put inside your box, but I've tried this a couple times, and if you're going to move it around or you want to save it for a little bit, it's easier if you tape it down. It'll last a little bit longer. Okay. So then right now I'm going to give you guys some time to catch up. If you have already had the pre-given us at High Touch High Tech your email, you have the directions. You can go ahead and keep working on it. And while you're working on it, we're going to talk about why we made this. This is what did we say we were making?
Solar oven.
Making a solar oven. When you think of solar, what do you think of?
Sun.
The sun. What does the sun do for us? Yes.
It's hot.
It is. It is very, very hot. It also gives us light. And when it's hot because the sun gives off energy.
And the moon is cold.
Yes, it doesn't give off its own energy. So the sun is, believe it or not, guys, about 5,000. Don't tear that because we're going to try it later. Hold on. It's about 5,000 degrees on the surface and can get up to about 18 million degrees at the
Even
center
though-
and core
Even
of the
though
sun.
It's really hot down here. It's more hot.
Oh, it's way more hot up there.
There's
right.
like this little like orange something spot. That's not. That's not hot. That's not hot, but it's still a little hot.
It's still hot. The sun is hot. And what what happens is that the sun is made up of hydrogen, right, and helium. And what happens is you have two hydrogen
It's
atoms.
made of stars.
A star is a sun, or a sun is a star. Okay, yeah, a sun is a star.
So basically.
So hold on. Let me explain this. Just like kids in schools, right? So two hydrogen atoms combine and they form one helium atom. This is called nuclear fusion, okay? And so this process creates an extreme amount of heat, okay? An extreme amount of heat and energy. Most of that energy from the sun goes all over the place, outside in the universe, but some of it is directed towards the earth and heats us up. Now, some of that is bounced back up into the atmosphere. Bounced back up into space through the atmosphere. And some of it does, a lot of it does get through the earth to the surface. And it heats up the earth two ways. Do you guys know why it heats it up? Do you have any ideas? Yes.
Maybe like some planets in the earth. Well, not planets.
Why would the sun warm us up?
Because it's
Because
so
it's so hot
It is
over the sun.
And what heat can travel through what? It's
through air.
well, yes, but through it and through its waves, right? That's called radiant heat. So if you go outside and you were to step on the black
Patio.
black patio, the road, you step on the black, what's it gonna feel like during the summer?
It's
It's
gonna
really
feel
hot.
Very, very hot during the summer because
Like,
because the rays from the sun are going to hit that and the rays are going to warm that surface up, okay?
Grass is like the same way, but less hot.
You're right. The grass can absorb some of the heat as well, but it's not nearly as hot as like the black pavement. And I said the black pavement, that's why we use the black piece of paper at the bottom too, right? Because black absorbs the energy and the heat. So you also have thermal energy. And what happens is the energy from the sun travels, hits something, and it causes the atoms to move around. And the faster the atoms move, the more heat it produces. So for instance, what is the difference? If you go stand in the shade, is it warmer or cooler than if you stand in the sun? It is cooler. Now, what happens if you go outside, kind of like today, and it's pretty chilly today, it's only in the mid-50s, but you go and you exercise and you run or you jump or on a trampoline or go for a jog, what's it going to do to you?
It's gonna make you hot.
It is going to still make you hot because you are moving, and when you are moving, the same thing happens. The energy inside your body starts to move and it produces warmth and is going to warm you up. That is what happens with thermal energy. The particles and the atoms start to move around faster and faster and faster. And we call that, what is something that you use a thermometer to do what? To take your temperature.
It's
Temperature.
22.
It is. Make a wish. The temperature is the degree and the measurement of heat. So the more energy, thermal energy that something has, or radiant energy, the more heat and the higher the temperature is going to be. Make sense? God bless you. That was a good fake one, right? So anyway, did you guys have fun today? Wait a minute. We got to set this up. I almost forgot. We're going to go ahead and set up our s'mores. We're going to see what happens.
It said it was better to put the chocolate on top.
Oh, good. So this is going to be a little bit different. So when you are making your s'more, because the way that this oven works is you actually want to put the graham cracker first. And if you wanted to, you could put, that's why I have this pie pan. If you wanted to, you could put the s'mores when you put them together in a pie pan. You could just tear off another piece of foil. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to tear off a piece and I'm going to tear it in half. Kind of make it like small little just holders. That way we've got something to put them on. And Shaylee was absolutely correct. Oh my goodness, I tried to say right and correct all at the same time. You are going to, the way you're going to do this one is you're going to take your graham cracker. All right, here's one for you. Here's one for you, Ray. If you want to break it in half.
I can't.
Okay, I'll do it. Ooh, where do you go? Oh, there we go. Okay. And then for this, you are going to put the marshmallow first. Okay, so graham cracker, then marshmallow.
And if you want, after it's done, you can also flip it over.
Yes, at the end. You're
Then
right.
the chocolate.
Okay, and then you're going to put the chocolate on top. And the reason why is because it takes a little bit longer to melt the marshmallow than it does the chocolate. And then put your graham cracker on top. Go ahead. You can push it down a little bit so it kind of stays. Okay, you want to wait? Okay. Okay, well, you can either try it, you know what I said, to put it on top kind of like you do. If you want to, you can try it at home to put it on top, or you can put it outside just like this. Oh, and I forgot one other thing. I apologize. Sorry, guys. So what you're going to do is once you have everything in, you're going to close the oven. Can you help me get this side in so we don't tear it? Good job. We're going to close the oven, and you're going to lift the flap. Let's turn around so they can see it. Oh,
Shaylee.
hold on. We had a malfunction. We lost our graham cracker. Okay. So, that one.
Shaylee.
All right. There. Oh, well. We're just going to see what happens. This one won't stay. All right. So we're going to close the lid. And then you want to take either the dowel or stick, and I had one that was pre-trimmed a little bit. There we go. And you want to stick it, prop up your flap. And the reason why this works is because you are creating a box where heat is going to reflect and bounce off of the foil into your box. Inside the box, you've got reflective foil everywhere. It also is going to, because we have the cling wrap wrapped all the way around, it is going to warm up and stay hot on the inside, and it'll keep all the heat on the inside of
Because
this
there's
oven.
no opening.
Yeah, so
So
there's
the heat will stay.
that's
in the
right.
box.
And we have the black paper, and all that is going to contribute to making this warm enough to melt
And the
the
darker color,
yes.
in the darker colors will reflect the sun, and it makes it hotter.
Not reflect. Absorb. I almost said observe. So there you have it. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. If you've printed off the materials that you need, you can go ahead and make this oven, put it outside, see how long it takes. Obviously, it's going to work better on a really, really warm, hot day than like it is here, cloudy and
Because it works, you
55.
can always change it into the microwave.
That's right. If it doesn't work, I think I'm going to let them put them in the microwave and heat them up a little bit, and they can eat it for helping.
Or just take a lighter.
You could do that, or a bonfire or something like that, right? So,
Can I do the
thank you. Yes, you can have a piece of chocolate. That's for helping. Okay, thank you for being with us. Hopefully we will see you tomorrow. Don't forget to send us your names for Shaylee and Reagan. Yeah, I bought a big one. That was a good one. So anyway, thank you so much. We will see if there's any questions. Remember, as always, we will get back in touch with you. Hope you have a good day.
She'd be looking at the questions as always.
Did you say anything?
It says
You were supposed to.
yummy s'mores.